Hello, and welcome to the 7th episode of LGBTQIA+, Heroes, Icons, Legends, and Events. This series of programs covers a wide variety of topics such as pride, astronaut Sally Ride, politician Harvey Milk, and entertainers Sir Elton John, RuPaul, and Freddie Mercury. Today we'll talk about the LGBTQIA+ legends of women's sports. The world of sports has long been dominated by heterosexual males, and the sports culture is historically intolerant of LGBTQIA+ athletes. Over the years, views have been changing, and women and LGBTQIA+ athletes have made great strides to achieve equality. Today, we're going to discuss the LGBTQIA+ women who paved the way for today's sports legends. Let's talk about the greatest female athlete of all time, Babe Didrikson Zaharias. Mildred Ella Didrikson was born on June 26, 1911 in Port Arthur, Texas. Just minutes before her birth, a barge called the Humble exploded in the harbor and set the wharves on fire. But this young woman would grow up to be anything but humble. She wanted to be not only the best female athlete, but the greatest athlete that ever lived. She was raised in Beaumont, Texas, in a family of 7 children. It was rare for young girls to participate in sports, but Mildred was allowed to play with the boys because of her natural abilities. She was muscular, and she cut her hair very short to keep it out of her eyes. Her classmates made fun of her mannish appearance, but she was the star in every sport in high school: baseball, volleyball, basketball, tennis, and swimming. She claimed that she got her nickname Babe after she hit 5 home runs in a baseball game, and her teammates compared her to the famous baseball player Babe Ruth. In truth, her Norwegian mother had called her my Bebe or Babe from the time she was a little girl. After she graduated high school, Babe was offered a job as a secretary for the employer's casualty insurance company in Dallas, Texas. She was only hired to play as an amateur on the company's industrial basketball team, the Golden Cyclones. She led the team to an Amateur Athletic Union, or AAU, championship victory in 1931. In 1932, she again represented the insurance company in the AAU championships, winning 5 out of 10 events outright. Her team won the championship. Later that year, Babe qualified for the 1932 Olympics in Los Angeles, California. At the time, women were allowed to compete in only 3 Olympic events. Babe won gold medals and set new records in the 80-meter hurdle and the javelin toss, and she won the silver medal for the high jump. She is the only track and field athlete, male or female, to win individual Olympic medals in running, throwing, and jumping. Babe met professional wrestler George Zaharias in 1938 at the PGA Los Angeles Open. They married later that year. The couple never had children. Babe decided to become a golf champion as well, and she won 14 golf tournaments in 1946 and 1947. She became the first woman to qualify for the men's 1945 PGA event. She broke the gender barrier and helped found the LPGA, the Ladies Professional Golf Association. After a while, George began to push her to play in more tournaments and make more money. Babe got tired of George's constant demands, and the couple grew apart. Babe met Betty Dodd in 1950 on the LPGA Tour, and they became constant, close companions. Babe never identified herself as lesbian or bisexual, but it was obvious to her LPGA teammates that her relationship with Betty was intimate and romantic. Babe was diagnosed with colon cancer in 1953. She spoke openly about her disease and was an advocate for cancer awareness at a time when many Americans refused to seek diagnoses and treatment for suspected cancer. President Dwight Eisenhower invited her to the White House to kick off the annual Cancer Crusade. Babe died on September 27, 1956, with Betty Dodd and her husband George at her side. President Eisenhower called for a national moment of silence in her honor. Newspapers all over the world paid tribute to Babe, who had become the greatest woman athlete in the world by conquering every sport she tried. The best compliment was given by the minister at her funeral service. She was always just Babe. She never lost the common touch. The Babe Didrikson Zaharias Museum and Visitor Center is located in Babe's hometown of Beaumont, Texas, off of Interstate 10. The museum consists largely of trophies and awards that Babe accumulated during her career, as well as memorabilia, newspaper clippings, and photographs. The museum also functions as a visitor center for Beaumont. Money raised by the museum helps fund scholarships for female students at Beaumont's Lamar University. In 1976, Babe was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. In 1981, the U.S. Postal Service issued a commemorative stamp in her honor. On January 7, 2021, Babe was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Donald Trump. Now, let's talk about one of the greatest tennis players of all time, Billie Jean King. Billie Jean Moffitt was born on November 22, 1943, in Long Beach, California. Both she and her brother Randy excelled in sports. Billie Jean developed an interest in tennis at a young age. When she was 14 years old, she won her first championship. Despite her success, she was challenged by the fact that tennis was dominated by men. In 1961, Billie Jean competed for the first time at Wimbledon, the oldest tennis tournament in the world, in London, England. She was defeated in the women's singles but won the doubles title with Karen Hansi. In 1966 and 1967, she won the Wimbledon Singles Championship. Billie Jean married attorney Larry King in 1968 and also became a professional tennis player. That same year, she won both the singles and doubles championships at Wimbledon. In 1971, she became the first woman athlete to win more than $100,000 in 1 year. In 1972, she won the women's singles at Wimbledon, the U.S. Open singles, and the French Open, thereby winning the Grand Slam of tennis. Billie Jean began to openly criticize the differences between men's and women's prize money. She fought for equality in pay for women. Her status as a leader in the feminist cause was established when she faced the 1939 men's champion, Bobby Riggs, in a nationally televised match at the Houston Astrodome, billed as the Battle of the Sexes. She easily defeated him. She said, "I thought it would set us back 50 years if I didn't win that match. It would affect all women's self-esteem." Billie Jean helped to found the Women's Tennis Association and served as its president from 1973 to 1975, and again from 1980 to 1981. In 1981, she was outed as a lesbian in a lawsuit filed by a former lover. She didn't like being forcefully outed, but she was proud to finally come out. She and her husband divorced, although they remained friends. Billie Jean retired from professional tennis in 1984. She has served on the board of the Elton John AIDS Foundation and was named a global mentor for gender equality by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. On August 12, 2009, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Barack Obama. And now, let's talk about Diana Nyad, the record-setting long-distance swimmer. Diana Sneed was born in New York City on August 22, 1949. Her parents divorced in 1952, and after her mother remarried and her stepfather, Aristotle Nyad, adopted Diana, they moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where Diana became interested in competitive swimming. She studied with Olympic swimming coach Jack Nelson until she graduated from high school. She attended Emory University in Atlanta, but was expelled for jumping out of a fourth-story window with a parachute. She began training for marathon swimming and set a women's world record of 4 hours and 22 minutes in her first race, a 10-mile swim in Lake Ontario in July 1970. In 1975, she made headlines by swimming 28 miles around the island of Manhattan in just under 8 hours. In 1978, Diana made her first attempt to swim from Havana, Cuba to Key West, Florida, 1 year after the Kennedy-era travel restrictions had been lifted. She swam inside a shark cage for 42 hours before her team doctors removed her from the water due to dangerous conditions. She tried again in 2011 and 2012, but could not complete the swims due to jellyfish stings and respiratory issues. On August 31, 2013, at 64 years of age, Diana began her fifth attempt to swim from Havana to Key West, a 110-mile swim. She was accompanied by a 35-member team, and she swam without a shark cage. She reached the beach in Key West on September 2nd, 53 hours after starting the swim. She is the first person to attempt and complete this epic journey. Diana has said that the intense concentration and determination required to make such an arduous swim came from her anger at the sexual abuse she suffered from her swimming coach when she was a child. She has spoken publicly about the abuse and has fought to overcome the pain she has suffered. Other Trailblazers include Renee Richards, one of the first professional athletes to identify as transgender. She had some success when she fought to compete as a woman in the U.S. Open tennis tournament. Caitlyn Jenner is famous for being dubbed the All-American Hero for winning the decathlon at the 1976 Olympics in Montreal, Canada. She came out as transgender in 2015 and is arguably the most famous transgender woman in the world. Martina Navratilova, one of the greatest tennis players of all time, won Wimbledon a record 9 times. All of these athletes paved the way for today's LGBTQIA+ sports legends. Violet Palmer is a retired American basketball referee in the NBA and the first female official to work in the highest tier in any professional sports league. Nicola Adams is the first female boxer to become an Olympic champion after winning the gold medal in London in 2012. She was appointed an MBE, Member of the Order of the British Empire, in 2013, and in 2017 she received the OBE, Officer of the Order of the British Empire, for services to boxing. Megan Rapinoe is an American professional soccer player who was named the best FIFA women's player in 2019. She is internationally known as an activist and an advocate for LGBTQIA+ organizations. Abby Wambach is a retired American soccer player, coach, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, a FIFA Women's Cup champion, and a member of the National Soccer Hall of Fame. Brittany Griner is an American professional basketball player. She is the only NCAA player to score 2,000 points and block 500 shots. She was on the USA Women's 2016 Olympic basketball team and helped lead the team to victory. All of these amazing athletes have brought equality to women's sports and helped LGBTQIA+ athletes find success and recognition. In the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, there are a record more than 160 openly queer or trans athletes in the competitions. To know more about these athletes and other topics discussed in this presentation, go to our website, gwinnettpl.org, and check out the following suggested items: Babe Conquers the World, The Legendary Life of Babe Didrikson Zaharias by Rich Wallace and Sandra Neal Wallace. All In by Billie Jean King. Find a Way by Diana Nyad. Rad American Women A to Z by Kate Schatz. Women in Sports, 50 Fearless Athletes Who Played to Win by Rachel Ignatowski. The Secrets of My Life by Caitlyn Jenner. One Life by Megan Rapinoe, Forward by Abby Wambach, In My Skin by Brittany Griner. Also, visit our website's digital resources to discover Canopy, our new streaming service. Canopy has a wide selection of films and documentaries about LGBTQIA topics. Thank you for watching.